How's it going, everybody? My name's George Norton. I'm an exercise physiologist and owner of Joint Effort Exercise in Guilford, Old Saybrook, and Brantford, Connecticut. Um, Joint Effort's an exercise concept for people over the age of 50 who do not feel safe or comfortable exercising in large fitness centers with the big buff bodies or the tiny little girls. So we focus mainly on developing better strength, better balance, posture, flexibility, and overall functionality for our members. Um, Again, it's only for those over the age of 50, so it's a very comfortable place for people to exercise. So today, what I want to talk about, we're getting a lot of people that come into this center or in the center that feel whether it be arthritis in their back or they just have extremely tight muscles. When they're sleeping, it's hard to get out of bed, and their first few steps are really creaky, or they feel a lot of tightness and cramping. So what I want to do today is just go through some very basic exercises and even stretches that you can do before you even get out of bed in the morning, just to get some blood flow down into those muscles that are in the low back, and move your hips around a little bit, and just see if we can work out some of those kinks before you even step out of bed. So I'm going to go through it today. I hope this is going to be a beneficial video, seeing that I don't have anybody else here with me to do it. I hope that you can hear me. So here it goes. Okay, so you're still in bed. Just waking up, like I said, it's really a difficult thing to just get up, and when your muscles are tight, they've been lying down all night. They're still more or less in that contracted state. So what I'd like you to do is just start off with grabbing one knee and bringing it on into the chest. So nice and easy, and this is going to stretch out your glutes, so your butt muscles, more or less, if you will. So you're going to feel a good stretch right through there. And just switch to the other side. So nice and easy. You can keep one leg bent if you'd like. You're just going to pull on through. Nothing too excessive. Hold it for 15 to 20 seconds. And then you're going to return to the other position. So let's just try that one more time on each side. So you just go through that twice. So nice and easy. Just get some, a little bit of flexibility in the glutes. Slightly in the upper part of your hamstrings. Let's just try one more on the other side. Okay. Very good. Okay, so next what I'd like to do is just what we call a hamstring stretch. So the glutes, obviously, we're down in this region. Now we want to move up just a little bit higher. So I'm just going to have you put your hand underneath, behind your knee. And again, keep the opposite knee just kind of bent up a little bit just to protect your back, and just pull back a little tiny bit just so you feel a tiny stretch right through this region here. Again, nothing excessive, just enough to get some blood flow down there. Work it a little bit. Okay, in same amount of time. So everything will be the same amount of time. 15 to 20 seconds is enough. And again, nothing too excessive in terms of pulling. Okay, so nice and easy. Okay, let's do one more time on each side. Nice deep breathing as you're doing this. And one more. Okay, so the next one I'd like to do is just called a trunk rotation. So I just want to make sure that if you have a low back injury, if you have anything that's really been giving you trouble in terms of nerve pain, if it's sciatica, if it's what we call piriformis syndrome, any type of nerve pain, just please check with your doctor or a physical therapist or an exercise physiologist like myself or my my staff, if it's safe for you to do. So what I'd like you to do, you're just going to bend your knees at about 90 degrees. You can put your feet together and your knees together. Lie your hands down to the sides, and then just rock back and forth. Very gently. So you don't have to go too fast, and also you don't want to go to a point where your your vertebrae or your back actually are the ones that stop the movement. You want to go and you want to really use those back muscles and your abdominal muscles to stop the movement and then recreate the movement in the opposite direction. So this is a good speed, almost like a 1, 2, 1, 2 to each side. So nice and easy. Just go back and forth. I'd say 10 times would be adequate for right now. Okay, so that's exercise number 3. So that's more or less a little bit of movement now. So we got a little tiny bit of a stretch, and again, a very gentle stretch for the glutes and the hamstrings. So next, what I'd like to do is stretch your hips out a little bit. So this is called the piriformis muscle. The muscle attaches right at the top of your hip, really, and then down into around your lumbar spine, so the small of your back. So a lot of the regions where our members say that they have some discomfort when they get up in the morning, if, again, whether it's arthritis in the lower, lumbar spine, those lumbar vertebrae, that could be the cause. So let's just start to loosen those up a little bit. So I want to stretch out that muscle, okay? So just to start off, I'd like everybody to just do it this way. There is a more advanced way to do this, but for today's purposes, I just want to go through a very gentle stretch. So you're going to cross, let's start with the left leg over the right. And then what I'd like you to do is just put your left hand on your left knee, and then take your right hand and put it down toward a little bit lower than your shin, okay? And then just pull up very gently, okay? So you should feel a nice stretch in that left side of your hip, or your left hip, I should say. And again, the same thing. You don't want to do these stretches, especially since you're just waking up. You haven't really moved around all that much. You want to, just keep these stretches at like a 4 or a 5 out of 10 if you had to rate them in terms of discomfort. Maybe even less. Let's say like a 3 or a 4. So just feel enough to, that you feel some stretch there. Okay, so again, same amount of time, 15 to 20 seconds. Let's switch to that right leg now, excuse me. Okay, and let's pull on back. Okay, so again, that 3 or 4 out of 10, if you had to rate it in terms of discomfort, you should feel a nice stretch. And again, you're protecting your back by, you're still lying down in what we call a supine position. Pull on back. Okay, and let's do that one more time on each side. And it should feel a little bit looser this time too. So, but you still want to go to an intensity that's like, again, that 3 out of 4, or 3 or 4 out of 10, excuse me. We'll just pull on back. Okay, and last one. Now, next one, what I'd like to do is just to get I'm going to move back just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. What I'd like you to do is, we're just going to do some ankle pumps, so very, very gentle ankle pumps, so you can hold your breath, just like we did that hamstring stretch earlier. You're just going to hold up behind the knee, and I just want you to point and pull your toe back, okay? So it's like a dynamic stretch for your calves. So you want to push all the way out, almost as far as you can, and then pull on back. So when you pull on back, you should feel a nice stretch right through the lower part of your leg. So obviously we're doing it now on the right leg, and maybe just 10 pumps. And that's good for that side. Okay, let's do it on the other side now. And again, you want to make sure that all these movements are done in a slow and controlled manner. You notice that I'm not, kind of flinging my legs around. You're still, again, your muscles, especially in your low back, are still probably a little bit tight, even at this phase, tighter than they will be when you're moving around throughout the day. So just make sure you're doing everything in a very slow and controlled manner. No need to rush. All right, and then one more on the other side. I'll just do a few, but I can already feel a little bit of warmth in my calf muscles, which is good. That means there's some nice oxygenated blood flowing through the muscle. Okay, let's go for that side. And then one more here. Okay, that's good. All right, and then just one more time, I want to do the feet together, knees together. I'm going to go side to side very gently. Just a few times. And I honestly do feel like right now doing this is easier than the first time that I did it. After I did that piriformis stretch when I crossed my left leg over the right and then vice versa. So I do feel better than when I started. Okay, so that'll be good. And as always, it's best to roll onto your side and push on up. Still take a couple of seconds when you're, when you're getting up. Make sure that everything feels okay. You don't feel lightheaded, especially if you have blood pressure concerns. Just make sure that you're still taking the appropriate steps and not just jumping right out of bed and get walking. So, just stand up very slowly as you get up and, make sure everything feels okay. But through doing these exercises, you should feel quite a bit looser and, ready to take on the day a little bit sooner than you would if you just stepped out of bed and you were still really tight from sleeping. So I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, like the video, and even share it if you did really enjoy it, or if you have friends or family members that you think would benefit from doing this. And that's it. Have a great day, everybody.